I'm talking to you something about the 7 habits of highly effective people. And this presentation is totally based, I think most of you might have been gone through the book, a famous book written by the state psychologist Stephen Covey. He has written a book, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. And my total presentation is based on that book. I transformed certain things, I got those ideas, and ultimately a little bit picturization just to make it interesting, to make it useful for the people. And I know most of you, rather I should say all of you, must be possessing those habits, must be having those paradigms in life. That's the only reason the two people are here as Rotarians. You people thinking about the society, you people thinking about the unprivileged, thinking about the downtrodden, and thinking about the needy. 7 habits of highly effective people. Aristotle once told, we are what we repeatedly do. Excellence then is not an act but a habit. And I think the Rotarians, whatsoever they are doing excellence, that is their habit now. So a thought, reap an action. Sow an action, reap a habit. Sow a habit, reap a character. And sow a character, reap a destiny. That's why what our forefathers, what the founding fathers of Rotary, they have done for us, they have given us, ultimately we are making and shaping the destiny of the people, not of a particular area, not of a particular class, not of a particular creed, not of a particular region, not of a particular religion, rather to the whole globe. Wheresoever any calamity comes, wheresoever any difficulty comes, wheresoever any problem is there, we the Rotarians are there to change the destiny, to ultimately do good for the betterment of the people. Now the question is, what is habit? Normally we say something about the habit, I have this habit, I have this habit. Habit is the intersection of knowledge, skill, and desire. So wheresoever they intersect, wheresoever they cut, that is known as habit. 3 things are required. We must have the knowledge, we must have the skill, but these 2 things are totally useless till we have the desire to cultivate the habit. The first habit, which is very, very important, be proactive. The proactive people are the people who never blame the circumstances. The proactive people are the people who never say, today it is raining, that's why I can't do it. The proactive people, they never bother about the heat, they never bother about the cold, they never bother about anything external. They always say, I can do it, I will do it, I will surely do it. My friends, my fraternity, my people, my countrymen, they are suffering, that's why I must do it. They don't blame the outside things, they don't become the puppet of the circumstances, and they never become helpless and helpless entity. The proactive people, they act, they don't react. They always act, they never react. And they know that their behavior is a function of decisions, not the conditions. They are not governed by the conditions. They take the decisions, they mean the decisions, they know their decisions are ultimately going to be effective, efficient, and they have the efficacy in them. Responsibility, not responsibility. They have the ability to give the responses in any kind of situation, may that be. And the third thing is, they never play the blame game. If something bad happened, the president should resign. If somebody or some country is having more population, the health minister should resign. The rail accident have taken place, the railway minister should resign. But they never play the blame game. They say, okay, if something bad happens, it's also our responsibility. If the government is not doing good, do we ever think, do we ever see that all of us are going to vote for it? In almost most of the countries, the voting percentage is 40%, 45%, 50%. The 50% of the people who don't vote, they have no right to say anything about the government, because they have no role to ultimately choose the government. Normally, in many of the situations of life, we do just play the blame game. My kids, my son, my children, they are not obedient. They are not doing the things as per mine. Have you ever thought there may be some of our fault in that? Why the kids are not behaving properly? Why the students are not doing good? Why the countrymen is not doing good? Why certain Rotarians have gone irrelevant? Why they have left the club? Should the role of the president be there? Or it's just the part of Rotarians that they have left and they have left? They take the initiative, they have no reactions, and the proactive people, they always make and keep the commitments. Proactive, always on the move, in any kind of situation. And the reactive feels, oh, the whole country is on my shoulders. I'm to carry such a big load. They are the reactive people, and they just do nothing except just repeating and carrying that workload, saying again and again, again and again, I'm doing this, I'm doing this, I'm doing this, but all else, they are not doing anything. They believe, okay, I should be happy, my wife should be happy, my kids should be happy, and rest all should go to hell.
Yeah.
Sign of proactivity, never frown, even when you're sad, because you never know who is falling in love with your smile. And on the other side, this is again a proactivity. We can better learn the proactive situation from these smaller kids. This is the sign of reactivity. Then there are two things, proactive folks and reactive folks. Positive energy, we have two concerns, we have two circles in life. The one is circle of influence, the other is circle of concern. So the reactive folks, negative energy, what it does reduce the circle of influence. That's why I was saying earlier, we go on bothering about the things which we cannot change. We go on bothering about the things which are out of our parameters, which are out of our area. So instead of increasing our circle of influence, the things which matter to us, the things which we can change, we can go on doing increasing the negative circle. Then the attitude, what that attitude means. Right attitude, I have just from initials of every letter, are relishing reality. They always relish the realities whatsoever they are. Never live in any kind of fool's paradise. Igniting imagination, their greatness, graciousness, healthy habits, and the right attitude people, they have always time to think and trust. On the other side, the wrong attitude, worries, W denotes worries. R denotes rushing to judgment immediately without evaluating the situation. They immediately just rush to the judgment. Okay, if it is, this is the season. Overeaters. then neglectors, and giving up soon. I'm just keeping it brief. This is a prayer to widen the circle of influence. Oh God, grant me the serenity to accept the things which I cannot change, the courage to change the things which I can, and wisdom to know the difference. Friends, when we come to know about it, definitely our circle of influence is going to be widened. This is the Hindi words. See within yourself, are you Sukhi Ram or Dukhi Ram? Sukhi Ram means the happy person and the person who is in sorrow. So see within yourself, are you a happy person or are you a person suffering from sorrows? So Sukhi Ram and the Dukhi Ram. Be alert and attentive. Now something is going to happen. Just for developing the proactive habit. Don't let the situation confuse you. Always have targets and goals. Smile always to inculcate the first habit. Share the happiness with others. Normally we tend to share sorrows and sufferings and least bother about the happiness. Basic human psyche that when happiness comes I should enjoy it alone. So share the happiness with others. Be confident and proud of yourself. Even the cat, when it sees the mirror, she may think that I'm alive. So such sort of confidence should be there. Work from time to time. Be brave and courageous. Always be brave and courageous. If okay, they have put some sort of cage, the mouse may wear the helmet. Always be ready for any surprises in life. This wolf has come to eat the rabbit, and ultimately vice versa has happened. It may happen in life. This is very important, friends, to develop the first habit. Relax even when your wife shouts at you. This is very important. This is our 10th Sikh master, our Sikh Guru, Guru Gobind Singh. I give him the best example of proactivity. That man, our Guru, he lost all his family, sacrificed all his family for the cause of humanity. The Mughal emperors, they bricked alive his younger sons at the age of 7 and 9. His elder sons at the age of 15 and 17, they were killed while fighting a battle. His father, he was beheaded by the Mughal emperor. Guru Gobind Singh, again, he was beheaded, murdered, and his mother also died. So the man sacrificed all his family, but he used saying this every time, "Oh my dear God, it's your sweet will, and I'm happy in your sweet will. Because it's my pleasure that I've sacrificed mine everything just for the cause of humanity, so that my countrymen, so that my community, so that my people, they can live freely." We have our past president of country, Abdul Kalam Azad, a great scientist. He had been the president. Dr. Manmohan Singh, the current prime minister of our country. doing a lot. It's because of his efforts alone that Indian economy took a magnificent change. Now Indian economy is developing at plus 9% growth rate, which is next to China, and we hope, and the estimates are there, that by 2020, India will be the first topmost leading economy of the whole world. Then some more proactive people, Abraham Lincoln, all of you have heard about it, Helen Keller, Ved Mehta, John Milton, Ronak Singh, Sudha Chandran. I don't go into the details. Then it is the second habit. Begin with the end in mind. Whatsoever we do, we must plan in advance that ultimately what is going to be the end result. We get our house constructed, we have a brief plan before that. But normally for the activities we do, sometimes we don't have a plan. We have a ladder. People are getting step by step on that ladder quite fast, feeling that, oh, I'm achieving a great success. But at the last step of the ladder, when the man reaches, he comes to know that it is put on a wrong wall. So we must come to know what is going to be the end. All things are created twice. One is mind creation, the other is physical creation. Become your own first creator. Must have personal mission statement. We must have to identify our roles and goals. And we also must have family mission statement. What is the mission of the family? What is the mission of the organization? And what is your self-mission? My dear friends, till all these missions, they match themselves, we are not going to succeed. Our individual missions, our individual interests, our individual objectives, they must match the objectives of the organization. They must match with the objectives of our country. This is the third habit. Put first things first. What is our priority? We have to set the priorities. I used to quote one example. Before that, we have this time management matrix. 4 types of activities: urgent and important, not urgent but important, urgent, not important, not urgent, not important. So activities like crisis, pressing problems, deadline driven projects. Not urgent, not important, activities, prevention, PC activities, relationship building, recognize new opportunity, planning, recreation. Third is not urgent but not important, interruption calls, some mail, meeting, pressing matters, popular activities. And the fourth one is not urgent, not important, busy work, some mail, phone calls, time wasters, one mobile phone, 2 mobile phone, one on this way, another on this way. So normally what happens, the psychologists, they have a study that vast majority of our time that gets lost in the fourth matrix. Not urgent, not important, sitting 3-4 hours in a bar, drinking, dining like anything, and when reach the home, kid asks, Dad, this time to do it. My teacher has given me this assignment. No, I don't have time today, we'll do it tomorrow. So in this matrix, if we are to learn, we have to learn to say no occasionally also. The people who learn to say no in certain situations, they get out of in that situation. This is the fourth habit. Think win-win. Always the win-win philosophy. In Smithford, somebody asked me that, okay, as states has some sort of a reliance for this on certain, what do you feel about? Should it be there? My answer was, yes, the win-win strategy says we have to live in a paradigm not of independence. Independence certainly is not a good thing. Then I thought, dependence? No. Dependence is again a very bad thing. We have to get into the third kind of paradigm, interdependence. And interdependence always lead to win-win situation. If my country feels that I should win, it must also think at the same time states must also win. When we say I should get strong, others should go weak, no. Win-lose, bad paradigm. Lose-win, bad paradigm. Lose-lose, again bad. Only win, bad. No deal, bad. Okay, certain things may be good in football match, maybe good in cricket match, one has to win. But in the matter of life, in the matter of dealings, in the matter of relationship building, it's always the win-win situation which should be there. And I'm proud to say that all our Rotarians, they are in first paradigm, they always think win-win situation. Then it's the fifth habit, seek first to understand and then to be understood. Normally, the vice versa happens. We always feel that people should understand us. We may not be understanding them. May it be with the relationship with the spouse, may it be with the relationship with the kids, may it be with the relationship with your employees or every workforce. So first, we should try to understand, only then we feel that others should understood us. So it has certain points. Character and communication should be there, empathic listening there, diagnose before you prescribe, understanding and perception, then seek to be understood, and one-on-one dealing should be there. Sixth habit, synergize. Principle of creative cooperation. Synergy is a must. And again, I feel it my pleasure to say that this synergy is there in our Rotary. This creative cooperation is there in our Rotary, which is ultimately creating the better kind of cooperation, not in one country, not in two countries, but 2 or 3 countries in the world at present. Synergy in classroom, synergy in business, synergy in communication, and avoid all negative synergy. And then, very important, valuing the differences. Normally, by human nature, we don't like the differences. But all great development is there just because of the difference. If everything is just in the obedient manner, no difference is there, then no development could have taken place. All nature is synergetic. Wonderful example before us. Everything is in a system. And when man starts to create any sort of trouble with the nature, we all see what nature does. Nature can face any of our troubles, any of our acts. But remember, we can't face even the single act of nature. And the last habit, sharpen the saw. Principle of self-renewal. Don't stop your curiosity. Don't stop yourself from learning. You never know from where you can learn something. So this renewal is physical, exercise, nutrition, stress management, mental, reading, writing, planning, visualizing, social service, empathy, synergy, intrinsic security, and spiritual. I do stress upon it. Nowadays, all materiality is going to make troubles till it has a sprinkling of spirituality on it. We go to church to seek spirituality. Don't go to church to see the building. We don't ultimately value the good carving on the church. We don't value the good stone on the church. We value the spirituality. We value the values which are given to us from that church. So spirituality must be there in any kind of material pursuit in order to survive it for long, in order to make our lives stress-free. So value clarification, commitment, study and meditation. This is the Hindu Lord Ganesh Ji. Every home in India used to worship. Lord Ganesh Ji, he has a big head. So his big head inspires us to think big and think profitably. The big ears, he has big ears. The big ears prompt us to listen patiently to new ideas and suggestions. He had narrow eyes. The narrow eyes point to deep concentration needed to finish tasks in hand well and quickly. He has a very long nose. The long nose tells us to poke around inquisitively to learn more. And he has a very small mouth. And the small mouth reminds us to speak less and listen more. Thank you very much. This is all.